Welcome to the Learning Academy. Today we'll be looking at multiplication. Let's start with the zero property of multiplication. The zero property of multiplication means that when a number is multiplied by zero, it remains as zero. This means that the product of any number that is multiplied by zero is zero. So here's the rule with zero. Whenever 0 is multiplied by any other number, it remains as 0. This is a rule in mathematics and it is called the zero property of multiplication. Let's look at a few examples. 1 times 0 is equal to 0. 2 times 0 is equal to 0. 0 times 0, 0. 1,000 times 0, 0. 1 million times 0 is 0. So the rule is any number that is multiplied by 0 remains as 0. Now that we have a full understanding of the zero property of multiplication, let us look at the commutative property of multiplication. The commutative property of multiplication states that the product of a multiplication problem does not change when you change the order of the numbers. Let's take two numbers, 3 and 4. If we multiply 3 times 4, our answer is 12. Let's reverse the order. If we reverse the order and change it to 4 times 3, the answer still remains as 12. Do you now understand the commutative property of multiplication? Let's look at a few examples. If we have 4 times 5, the answer remains 20. However, if we were to change the order and make it 5 times 4, it is still 20. And we see the commutative property of multiplication when we look at our multiplication tables. When you look at your multiplication table, you will realize that as you progress along the line to a higher multiplication table, you will see the number being placed in reverse order, but the answer remains the same. Let's take the 4 times table. If you look for 4 5s, your answer is 20. When you go to the 5 times table, you find it as 5 times 4. The answer still remains as 20. Now this is another one of the easier concepts in multiplication. Reversing the order of the numbers does not affect the product or the answer that you get from multiplying two numbers. Let's look at multiplication in the sense of it being repeated addition. Now if we have 2 times 4, it means that we're adding 4 plus 4. 2 times 4 is 8 and 4 plus 4 is 8. Another example, 16 times 2. 16 times 2 is 32. 16 plus 16 is equal to 32. Let's try 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. However, 3 plus 3 plus 3 is also equal to 9. So now we see the repeated addition property of multiplication. Let's look at multiplying numbers in the form of 3-digit numbers being multiplied by a single-digit number. First step, you place one number above the other so that the ones placed digits are properly lined up. Next, you draw a line underneath both numbers and place the multiplication sign. Then, you first start by multiplying the two numbers that are in the ones place. Then, you place the answer underneath the column for the ones place numbers. If a number is in the 10th place, you place it above the number that is in the 10th place. And then you proceed by multiplying the number in the ones place by the number in the tens place, and then you do the same. You place the result in the tens place and put the number that is in the tens place over the number in the hundreds place. Then you continue to multiply the ones number by the one in the hundreds place, and you do the repeat. You place the result by giving the number that is in the one place in the hundreds place, and then placing the number in the thousands place, and then bringing it down if there's no further multiplication. Now you will get your answer at the end after you have placed the line. Now what happens is that this type of multiplication involves multiplication and then adding a number that you would have placed above the number that is in a specific place, whether it's in the tens place or in the hundreds place or the thousands place. In this case, we stop at the hundreds place. Now it's not very difficult. Now you just need to follow these steps and try. So multiplying 3-digit numbers by a single-digit number is very easy. Remember that when you are doing multiplication, especially when you are doing 3-digit numbers being multiplied by single-digit numbers, and you're not doing any renaming, or whether you're doing renaming, always remember that the number that you place in basically subscript form above the tens place or the hundreds place should be added and not multiplied by the number that is considered to be the multiplicand. Always multiply the number in the ones place by the number in the tens place, and then add the small number that you would have brought at the top in the tens place. So do not multiply the numbers and add them. It can be very tricky, but always remember, you multiply, then you add the smaller, as in this tiny digit that you had brought, and put above the number in the tens place or the number in the hundreds place. Always add it to the product that you get after multiplying the number in a specific space by the single digit number. So multiplication is very easy. So all you need to do with mathematics is to practice, practice, and more practice. So let's review. The zero property of multiplication means that when you multiply any number by 0, the answer is 0. When you multiply the number and you change the order, the product remains the same. That is the commutative property of multiplication. The commutative property of multiplication means that when you rearrange, change the order of the numbers being multiplied, the product will not change. Let us review multiplication of 3-digit numbers by single digit. First, you must remember that you have to set the numbers in a particular order. My advice for this type of multiplication is to place the 3-digit number at the top and then put the 1-digit number below the number in the ones place, and then place the multiplication sign. Then use a line to separate the product from the multiplicands. Then you proceed by multiplying the number in the ones place by the number in the ones place. Put down the answer. If there is a number in the product that belongs in the tens place, you place it in a small subscript form above the number in the tens place in the 3-digit number. Then you multiply it by the single digit number and add that small little number in subscript form to that. You continue by placing the number that is in the ones place in the product underneath the tens place, and then if there is a remainder, if there is a number in the tens place, you put it above the number in the hundreds place. Then you move to multiply the single digit number by the number in hundreds place, and then you put the answer that you have received by taking the number from out of the ones place that is in the product and putting it in the hundreds place in the product section. Then if there is a number that is in the tens place, you place it in the thousands place. Because it's 3 digits, you now get to bring down this number. So if the number is 1 or 2, you now have to add it. It's almost like you're adding it to 0, so you bring it down. Now always keep in mind, multiplication is easy. Remember, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Students, practice, 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 and please study your multiplication tables. It's always good to start with a foundation. So start learning from 0 to 12. That's the foundation. And then you can grow from there. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Leave your questions down below and I will be sure to answer them all. Thanks for watching the Learning Academy. Remember that you are the greatest and mathematics is absolutely no challenge for you. It is easy.